The final context we're looking at is ethnicity. One of the beautiful facets of human variety is our racial lineage. Humans from different parts of the world have unique physical traits. For example, hair structure and skin color, of course, but those aren't so relevant to us as sculptors. Rather, these subtle, shapely differences in our faces is what we're seeking to understand in this video. Beginning with the base head I sculpted, which is somewhere in the Caucasian category, but we'll look at Caucasian traits last after we've morphed into the other ethnicities for the sake of comparison. So first, let's explore the Asian ethnicity. This includes indigenous populations of Asia, Polynesia, and the Americas, North, Central, and South. Of course, the most prominent facial characteristic is the eyes, which involve an additional layer of skin stretched across the interior corner between the caruncle and the bridge of the nose. This is called the epicanthal fold, which can even include part of the eyelid, keeping the caruncle tucked away. While this fold can appear within all ethnicities, it is a very distinct Asian feature. Also, Asian eyes tend to be thinner vertically. As for other features, Asian noses tend to be flatter and wider. This makes the eyes appear to be set further forward as well, with generally flatter dimension across the eyes and nose. Moving into the mouth region, lip shapes tend to be more simplified and rounded, while the chin to nose angle is often straight vertically. Lastly, Asian faces often appear younger than their age, with less wrinkles and smoother complexion. Those are the most notable characteristics, but as with all ethnicities, these aren't rules, just commonalities. There's always a variety within. Next, let's look at the African ethnicity, which includes people originating from the northern and western parts of the continent. Generally speaking, African faces are a bit wider and fuller, averaging a higher BMI. Eyes are structurally similar to Caucasian eyes, but can include epicanthal folds. Noses don't protrude as far outward, they are wider horizontally and shorter vertically. Mouths often extend further from the face, aligning with the tip of the nose. Finally, lips are fuller, with commonly rounded peaks of Cupid's bow. I've also added another hair proxy to better complement the African ethnicity. Asian, African, Caucasian, and their subcategories account for the majority of the world's population, but there are two additional, less common ethnicities. The Khoisan ethnicity refers to the indigenous people of southern and eastern Africa. Still maintaining a hunter-gatherer lifestyle, a key feature is their leanness, slender, toned necks, and skeletal facial structure. Eyes commonly feature epicanthal folds, however they tend to be less prominent than Asian eyes. Another distinct characteristic is large, wide cheekbones, tapering toward a thin jaw, which creates a notable triangular shape. Khoisan noses appear to be the flattest of these 5 ethnic categories, and commonly come to a point. And really the whole face is notably flatter. Lips are full, with tubercle volume extending beyond vermilion borders. Lastly, they seem to have smaller ears too. Note the photos of older Khoisan people. Next, we're going to look at the Aboriginal ethnicity. That includes indigenous populations of Southeast Asia, Oceania, as well as parts of South Asia. Among the key physical characteristics is a pronounced brow that overhangs the eyes. Eyes are commonly set a little closer together. Cheekbones a bit wider and more prominent. Aboriginal noses are generally shorter and wider with a flattened bottom contour. And lips are often located further down, closer to the chin, leaving a wider space between lips and nose. Now let's circle back around to the Caucasian ethnicity, in which our default head qualifies. This ethnicity includes a wide range of locations: Europe, Western Asia, Central Asia, South Asia, North Africa, and the Horn of Africa. Caucasians seem to have the widest variety in nose shapes, with the most potential for thin, long noses. Lips are often more defined and less full, with sharp Cupid's bow peaks. While epicanthal folds can occur, they're not common. Instead, the interior corner of the ocular cavity is often deeply hollowed out. BMI is lower on average in Caucasian faces, where facial structure can appear more skeletal. Once again, these traits we've talked about are more observational guidelines than hard rules. Each ethnicity is deeply and beautifully varied. Still, I hope this overview helps point you in the right direction for achieving ethnic characteristics in your portraits.